I see this as a filtration system. Like, it's filtering out all the men that can't reach my standards. So it's making it easier for me to find the person that I'm looking for. I will not tolerate anything less. And you shouldn't either, honestly. We're all grown women. We should not be talking to a man that disrespects us, and that's a red flag. Hey girls, I'm back. I missed you guys so much. I haven't posted in about like 3 weeks, but you know, that never stops a lady like me from showing up for my girls. I'm back, much better and refreshed energy, and I have a new topic that I'm excited to share with you guys. I feel like it's crucial for the girls today. With Valentine's Day around the corner, I want to make sure we're on our game. In today's video, we're going to be talking about non-negotiables when it comes to dating. I've personally made a list because I've been on this journey of discovering myself, and as women, of course, we crave that need of having a partner and wanting to have a male figure in our life. And I stopped trying to make myself feel bad for wanting to have a man in my life. I've just now switched my mentality into preparing myself to find the right guy. I'm in my 20s and I'm no longer just dating for fun. I'm dating with a little more intention and bigger goals in mind. So I really had to ask myself what I'm looking for in a man. What do I want my next relationship to look like? Started thinking about marriage and lifelong partners and stuff like that. So I made a list of 15 things that are non-negotiables when you're dating me. I am not the kind of girl to stay in unhealthy situations or relationships. If you are not giving, I will drop you like a hot cake and move on to the next. I don't want to waste my time pursuing a relationship and end up wasting years of my life in that relationship like I've done in the past. So now, it's time to tighten up. So I wanted to share my list with you guys so you can start building a foundation of things you won't tolerate from that partner that you might be seeking. Number 1 on my list of non-negotiables when it comes to dating, if we're dating, we are actively going on dates at least once a week. And I know this is a little controversial, but at-home links do not count. If we are dating, if we just started pursuing our relationship, there's no reason for me to be at your house. I'm not doing at-home links. If we are dating, you're interested in pursuing me, we will be going on weekly dates so that we can build a relationship, explore hobbies, and really build a connection. If we're just sitting in the house watching TV or laying up Netflix and chilling, we're not getting to know each other. You're just doing a do. If that's what you want to do, date a girl who wants to do that. But me, I'm not doing that. If you cannot afford to take me on a date, then you should not be dating, period. And I feel like in a talking stage and a dating stage, there are no at-home links. Once you're in a relationship, that is fine. I can come over, you can cook for me, that's cool. But I really don't like going to people's homes because it's an easy access type of thing for them to try to sleep with you, and I'm not a big fan of that. I am really trying to save myself from my husband, so I'm resisting all temptations.
I know that's right.
I suggest you do too, because if you're in a man's bed laid up with him, you can easily be swindled into giving it up. Okay, so watch out for that. Number 2 on my list of non-negotiables for dating is I expect anyone that I'm dating to be a leader by nature. I expect you to be a fully masculine man. Understand that you're the leader of the household. You are the man of the house, and that comes with responsibilities. So you need to have a good head on your shoulders and be able to make wise decisions. That is a given for me, just because as a woman on a journey to embrace her femininity, it's very important that I have that masculine man beside me to lead and guide and make decisions, because I don't want to have to do that and be out of my comfort zone and start moving masculine, because that will create much more problems in our relationship. If you can't make good decisions and all the decision making falls on me, I'm no longer going to be able to be soft and delicate and in my feminine, because I'm going to have to be doing what the man should be doing. So that non-negotiable. Number 4 on my list is that person has to have discipline and consistency. Now, discipline goes without being said. If you watch my previous videos, you know I'm a stickler for discipline. Discipline is a beneficial thing to have in all aspects of your life in general. It's good for self-development, personal growth, all of that. And it's very important for relationships and maintaining healthy connections. Consistency is a given. I don't want to be in a relationship where it starts off with me going on dates and getting flowers and gifts every week, and now we're 5 years in and I haven't seen flowers and gifts since the first year. That's not the vibes. I That is a huge turn off for me. I love consistency and I need it because as a Gemini, I am usually frazzled, if that's the right word, and I really need, well, I'm not gonna say I want and would prefer someone that has that consistency and discipline to like really hold us together, you know, and hold each other accountable. Discipline and consistency plays a huge part in relationships when it comes to things like finances, travel, things like that. I would like my person of interest to live a healthy lifestyle and be disciplined with that, like working out, eating healthy. Just because I do those things myself, I'm not going to accept any less from a partner. And like, I expect my partner to be disciplined, and also the sense of when people talk about that straying eye. Should guys follow women in a relationship? Should they be liking half naked OnlyFans models on Instagram? No, my man is not doing any of that. Out of respect for me, I would appreciate if you're not following these OnlyFans content creators, these single women you have your eyes on. All of that stuff is not okay, and I plan to reciprocate that for my partner, but I naturally don't do those things. So why would I talk to someone that is in these girls half naked pictures in the comments and all of that? That's just like a disgrace. I would not talk to anyone that does that, and if you do that, you need to cut it out or you're gonna kick dust. Number 5 on my list of non-negotiables is gonna be limited female friends. As a man in a relationship, you have no reason to have a bunch of female friends unless you guys were already in a platonic friendship before I was in the picture. If this is your childhood best friend, you can be friends with her as long as there was never no romantic business going on. Strictly platonic female friendships, because I don't want to be the kind of woman to restrain my man or restrict him from doing anything. So I expect him to have that discipline and self-control to be wise enough to know if a woman is attracted to you, you should not be friends with her because you're in a relationship with me. I feel like that is a given and that is a non-negotiable. Number 6 on my list is going to be trust and loyalty. I will not accept anything less than an honest man who doesn't try to be slick or beat around the bush. I need you to be direct, straightforward, but not abrasive. I need you to say what you gotta say to prevent us from having fights and arguments so that we can reach resolution without there being any lingering arguments or harbored feelings towards each other. A man should always be loyal to you. He also should have very strong and high morals towards his life and himself. I'd prefer for my man to have a backbone and stand up for his point of view, but not in a rude or nasty way. I need him to be understanding and willing to work on our relationship and be open-minded and self-aware enough to address a mistake I could have possibly made and also address a mistake that he could have possibly made. See both sides of that and work together to find a resolution. I know we've all heard older women say it is you and your man versus the problem, not you and your man versus each other. And that has stuck with me. I heard that when I was like 15, and till this day I still believe that. Also, with my loyal, honest man, I should never have to question if you're cheating on me. And I know that sounds a little bizarre, but I've been in relationships where I didn't even question if that man was cheating on me just because he made me feel so safe and secure and happy. I had no doubt in my mind. I love that for me. I was less stressed, I was happy, I was present, I was not paranoid or worried or going through his phone and going through his followers. That is not the kind of relationship I want. So yeah, I'm big on trust, loyalty, and honesty, which also ties into number 7 on my list of non-negotiables, which is respect. Period. I don't even have to say much about that, but we're all grown women. We should not be talking to a man that disrespects us. If your man is calling you out of your name, speaking down on you, not taking you serious when you say something, he's like doubting you, that is all disrespectful to me, and I will not tolerate that. I have in the past, and I've learned from that. Like, I sat with myself and I feel like that's not a way my partner should make me feel. So I no longer tolerate disrespect, and that is something you should never do. But when you're growing and you love someone, you'll start to accept little things because you think your love is bigger than that. But trust me, if that person disrespects you in the beginning, they'll disrespect you in the end. And that turned out to be true in my situation. So I learned from that. I will not tolerate a disrespectful man, period. And that goes towards me and towards other women. Don't come to me disrespecting other women thinking I'm going to laugh with you. That is feminine, and that's a red flag. Number 8 on my list is going to be healthy communication and a constant open dialogue. I want us both to feel comfortable to voice our opinions and problems that we have with each other without one of us being afraid that the other person is going to get mad and go off the rails. That's not something I want. I view my relationship as a safe place. If it's not given a safe place, we need to work on it, or you're not the one for me, on to the next. I should be able to voice my opinions and my feelings without that person making me feel like I'm a burden to them, and vice versa. This goes for men as well, because I feel like as women we often overlook men's feelings, but he should be able to voice his opinions to me without me saying, oh, you're being feminine, because I'm guilty in the past when my ex would tell me how you feel. I'd be like, ew, you're such a... And like looking back at that was so harsh and rude, and I was being disrespectful. If those are things I would not tolerate from him, why am I doing it to him? You get what I'm saying? So it takes a certain level of maturity to really navigate dating with an open, wise mind, in my opinion. I want to feel safe to share my feelings and opinions. I don't want you to make me feel like I'm being dramatic or it's not important. I am a feminine woman. I'm a Gemini. I tend to be very emotional and overwhelming to a lot of people, and I need someone that can navigate that without making me feel like I'm a burden or I'm being dramatic, because nothing triggers me more than when I tell someone how I feel and they try to make me seem like I'm being dramatic. I will never tell you anything again. Your relationship should be a safe place, which also ties into number 9, which is going to be reassurance and attentiveness. I love how all of these are like flowing into each other. That's like how you really know like you standing on business, because all these points are hidden one after each other, building off of each other. And I love that for us, because we're going to be aware of what we're looking for, what we won't tolerate, and what we should be expecting. I feel like both genders love reassurance, but men downplay it. And as a woman, I notice myself doing strange things to get reassurance when I could just go to my partner and say, I'm not feeling the best right now, I need some reassurance. And having that conversation, I would like start a fight so that person can like win me back, so they can prove themselves to me, so that I can know they still want to be with me and stuff like that. And that is so toxic, and I'm glad I could step back and really see that that's what I was doing and understand why I was doing it. So I feel like reassurance in a relationship is super important, just so your partner is never left wondering where you guys stand and how you feel about them, because that can lead to like cheating, talking to other people, all of that. And we're trying to be in healthy relationships moving forward. I am not dealing with any toxic relationships. And attentiveness, I would love for my partner to be attentive and caring, and just to pay attention to me and what I like, and vice versa. If I mention something like, hey, I really like this book, it will be so amazing and wonderful and thoughtful if maybe one day you surprise me with that book and some coffee. That is so sweet and attentive. It keeps the relationship alive. It keeps the love blossoming. And do the same thing for your man. Men love that because they're not used to it. If he mentions something and one day you just surprise him with it, he is going to be in love, like wrapped around your finger, because guys don't really get that type of love and attention. So yeah, that's a little tip. Number 10 on my list of non-negotiables when it comes to dating is going to be consistency. I know I kind of mentioned this earlier on, but consistency is super important. I am not tolerating any mixed signals and words not matching your actions. That's a red flag. Don't tell me you love me, but don't act like you love me in any way whatsoever and can't tell me why. I don't ever want to be confused about where I stand with a man. Like, I don't want to ever have to sit there and be like, are we dating? Are we in a relationship? Is that my boyfriend? Do we have an anniversary? That is a red flag. Trust me, if that man was serious about you, he would make it known where y'all stand and how he feels about you. Personally, I feel like I'm too grown to deal with mixed signals. It's either you want to be with me or you don't. It's either I want to be with you or I don't. I'm not doing the wishy-washy back and forth. We could be friends, but I don't know. I'm just not in a place to be in a relationship. Then we're going to be friends. No mixed signals, no saying we're going to be friends, but then you expect them to hook up with me and kiss on me and all of that. That is some high school shit. it just rubs me the wrong way. Like, if you're not serious enough about me to know what you want my role in your life to be, then I don't think we should be talking in general, because why do you want me in your life if you don't know if you want me to be your girlfriend or wife or friend? I'm not getting mixed up in no entanglements with anybody. It's either we say how we feel, we stand on that, or we don't speak at all. Number 11 on my list of non-negotiables is my future man has to be intelligent. Just because I'm constantly pursuing my education and expanding my knowledge, I will not tolerate an uneducated man. Nothing pisses me off more than an uneducated man. I can't even sit down and have an intellectual conversation with you. Like, your thinking does not go past rappers and scamming and drugs and staying on a block and gangbanging. Like, I've grown out of that so much, it makes me sick to think about. Like, I want my partner to have graduated high school, graduated college, and have degrees, just because that's what I'm doing for myself, and I'm not gonna share my life with someone who's not up there intellectually just because I'm a Gemini and that's really attractive to me. And if you're gonna be the father of my kids, you're gonna be an educated man. Like, let's not play when it comes to education. I feel like my generation, they just flopped on education. I know a lot of people that have never went to college. I know a lot of people that dropped out of high school during the pandemic, and I was one of them, but I held myself accountable and went back to school. So I'm not dealing with anyone who has the level of an 8th grader. Like, let's be for real. I'm a very intelligent woman. I like to talk about many different things. And if it's like you can't have those discussions with me, I'm not gonna be attracted to you. And I feel like our relationship is gonna have no substance and be very surface level. So that's a no-no for me. And I feel like people who are intelligent are better communicators, because I feel like they're more willing to have conversations that may be uncomfortable because it's necessary for us to move past it. I feel like with some other people that I experienced that weren't as educated, they would just like not say nothing but be passive aggressive and treat me differently and like be shady and throw subs, when it's like, no, you're a grown man, let's sit down, have this discussion, figure out how we're gonna work on this moving forward. I don't want to be in a relationship where I gotta go on IG and watch your story of you posting Justin LaBoy tweets to figure out we're having problems. Please, y'all, take my advice, live a better life. Like Future said it best, I am not dealing with any uneducated men in my life, because those tend to be the men that treat you the worst and don't understand your value. So that's something for you to think about. Number 12 on my list of non-negotiables for dating. This one is targeted towards like when we're in a relationship for a couple months and we're thinking about marriage and it's been years and stuff like that. I expect my man to be willing and wanting to comfortably provide for me and our family, of course, when it reaches that point. I don't deal with men that are not providers. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I'm 21 and I'm not dealing with that. Moving forward in my life, I will not deal with men that are not providers, just because I know what I'm looking for in the long run. So why would I tolerate a man that feel some type of way or is against providing for women? I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to set myself up and waste those years of my life, because I know exactly what I'm looking for. So yeah, ideally, I would love if my partner provides for the household and I have the option to stay at home to raise the kids or go to work. I just want to live a more comfortable life. I want to be my most feminine self, and I don't see myself being able to do that if I'm constantly working my whole life. And the dynamic I envision for myself in my future is I want to have kids and children, and I want us both to be in our children's lives. So ideally, my husband would be an entrepreneur so we both can work on our own schedule and stuff like that. I need to be able to depend on and trust my partner that if anything may happen, we'll still be good, we'll still be financially stable, and we don't have to worry about going broke or anything like that. Number 13 on my list of non-negotiables, I want him to be ambitious and have a good career. I want him to also be aware that family comes first, and he should never put his career above family, and he should very much be present in our children's lives as much as I am. I say ambitious because it shows drive and the ability to grind. It shows that you have passion for your career and you're just not like okay with being a loser who sits at home poor his whole life. I need you to be ambitious to change your life and build generational wealth, because those are things I'm passionate about. So I will not tolerate anything less than. That's a non-negotiable. I expect him to be able to work smart and evaluate his risks and then make calculated choices based off of that, because from past experience I've dealt with guys who just like heard of a way to make money and they just jumped into it, put all their savings into it, and then it failed. And it's like, I know that was a waste of money, but as a woman that stays in her place, that was not my business. I'm not one to rain on a man's parade. That's why I feel like you need to be self-aware and be able to make good choices and take calculated risks, because that's your career. I'm not going to be giving you the say so. I need to be able to trust that you will make good decisions financially when it comes to your career, because you know you got responsibilities. You got me and the kids and the house and the bills. Like, non-negotiable. Number 14 on my list is going to be stability. I want to have the option where I can fully depend on you for everything, and I know you're gonna come through. I don't ever have to worry if one day I'm gonna wake up and we're homeless because you don't have a stable lifestyle or a stable job or like a stable anything, not just financially. I need you to have some short-term goals and some long-term goals, so your life always has like some type of direction, so you're not just moving through life with no purpose. I need you to have something to always fall back on for emergencies. I really crave stability because I've struggled with stability in myself, being a Gemini with my mind all over the place and just being young, not able to make great decisions. So stability is definitely a non-negotiable for me, because you're my partner. I have certain standards for you. So it's like, if you're not stable and I'm not stable, our relationship won't be stable. Like, it may sound like nothing serious, but I genuinely crave stability and I will not tolerate anything less. And you shouldn't either, honestly. Number 15, the final non-negotiable I have on my list when it comes to dating in 2024. I feel like this should have been higher on the list, but it's going to be reciprocity. If you don't know what that means, because I kind of just learned what that meant a couple months ago, but reciprocity is basically like being able to reciprocate the feelings that I'm showing you or the feelings I'm putting out there towards you. Reciprocity is very important in relationships so that things don't feel one-sided. You don't want to be giving it your all, pouring your heart out, constantly buying them gifts, reassuring them, knowing their love languages, and it's like you're not getting any of that back from them. That I'm not dealing with, because I'm such a kind, sweet, loving, giving, compassionate person. I naturally will like buy people things and cook for them and clean for them and do all of this stuff. So it's like, if you're not matching my energy and giving that treatment back to me, I'm gonna be instantly turned off, and that's not something I should have to deal with in my relationship, and I will not. Something I feel like should be mentioned under reciprocity is going to be playing hard to get. I don't think people should play hard to get. Like, tell me how you feel and I'll tell you how I feel. I don't want it to ever be one-sided and feel like I like you more or you like me more. You should never be scared to show your feelings. I want to be able to openly share my feelings with you and receive that energy back, even if it's you feel the same way or you don't. Don't like lead people on and just play with them because you know they like you and you don't feel that back. Like, in relationships, it should be a tennis match. You throw the ball, I throw the ball back. You throw the ball, I throw the ball back. I'm not about to throw the ball and leave the ball in your court. And I've done that many times, but now it's like, I don't really share my feelings unless you share your feelings. If I feel like I've reached a point where my feelings are certain and secure, I'll tell you how I feel, and I expect you to match my energy, keep it a buck, and share your feelings with me too. Everything should be equal in a relationship, and I will not tolerate anything less. We are matching energy all 2024, but those were all the 15 non-negotiables that I will not tolerate or accept when dating. I hope that I brought some things to your attention that maybe you haven't thought of whilst you've been dating. So yeah, definitely think about the things that I've mentioned in this video and comment down below your feelings about them, or you could add some things to the list of what you won't tolerate, because I definitely feel like as I mature and grow, this list will become much longer, and I love that for me. Like, I see this as a filtration system. Like, it's filtering out all the men that can't reach my standards. So it's making it easier for me to find the person that I'm looking for. And I hope this list can do that for you and kind of narrow down what it is you're looking for whilst dating, so you're not wasting your prime years like some other people have. But thanks for watching and listening to all the information I've learned. I love sharing things with you guys, and I really miss talking to you guys. So your girl is back on schedule. We'll be uploading every Thursday and Sunday. Thanks for tuning in.